everyone. Today I want to reading this book for to be more fluent and clear when I speaking and reading book. So reading book is important and for to public speaking and thinking, also to conversation and public speaking also, and yeah, let's go to reading this book. First, this book is uh, how to talk to anyone about anything. Yeah, so talk about anything. Yeah. So first, chapter 4 is all about question. At the end of the day, the question we ask of ourselves determine the type of people that we will become. We end the last chapter talking about the importance of asking the a question, and it's a topic that deserves a lot of love. That's because when it comes to talking to anyone about anything, the best strategy you can ever have by your side is being able to ask the right question at the right time. It's pretty self-explanatory. Asking a question enables you to guide the conversation in whichever direction you want. Have you actual clarity on what the other person is saying, and have you find common ground and similar interests? Questions are everything. Now, don't forget that you don't want to interrogate someone by bombarding them with questions. Instead, find a balance of asking questions and talking, just as it is important to get the topic of your question right. When you bring together your new listening skill and mix them with your new ability to ask questions, you've got yourself a great conversation in the world. The power of question. You need to be direct with your question and use this powerful conversation to make the other person feel like they can talk to you. To create the conversation and to make the other person feel understood. We'll refer to each of the elements as direction, clarity, understanding. All of these are important when you want to engage in a proper, meaningful conversation. Let's say you are talking to colleagues at work. It's Monday morning and everyone is settling in for the day. Hey, how are you? How was your weekend? It was okay. Just watching Netflix. Really? What about you? Yeah, it was good. Had a barbecue Saturday and just forgot about the house on Sunday. Not the most entertaining conversation of all time, but a very common one nonetheless. Now, you can use question in a variety of ways here. If you want direction, you could ask something like, "What did you watch on Netflix?" I'm looking for something action-packed myself. I just finished Breaking Bad, and it's going to say it's very good. Now, to you questioning, you are creating the conversation to watch Netflix and TV series, which is a perfectly valid small talk topic, especially if action facts show or something you saw in interest in. You taken you taken control of the flow of conversation. Other times, you are going to want some clarity, and this is useful for making sure you understand the other person correctly. You also make the other person feel like you really want to know more about what they have to say, thus making them feel more connected to you one more often with the topic and hand. Taking the same introduction as the last example, you get roughly reply. I could new dog this weekend. Or will you respond? Will you ask for his name? Is Ike the pig? If you don't really know dog pig very well yourself, then asking for the dog spread isn't really a green question because as soon as they answer you are going to be stomach with what to say next. Never just go for the question you think is right, just because you are going through the motion. Really apply yourself to thinking of better, more progressive question. This is what it means to ask the right question. Instead, what about asking something like, oh yeah? Oh, here is second meal. Interesting, not a typical question. A question of TikTok. The person you are speaking with begins to engage more with the conversation. Yeah, not too bad. Actually, he is starting to chill on the edge of the sofa. Sorry. I forgot to continue with it. Yeah, not bad. Okay. Yeah, not bad. Not too bad. Actually, he's starting to chill on the edge of the sofa. Dog on his quiet room. So, I don't know if he's starting or not. What you answer? Another question. What will you go for? It's really up to you. Just remember you have got the main option, reaction, clarity, and understanding. If you want reaction, you can't say anything depending on which aspect of the conversation you want to go to on the. Let's say you're not enjoying the talk conversation and want to move on, you could say something like, maybe I could excuse to get a new sofa. Not like a completely will you if you could. You are a direction you are directing the conversation to something a bit funnier or hypothetical, a bit later help later help if you will if you instead want clarity. For example, you know about dogs and the capability to pick out the corner of sofa. You make us something like, oh really? Is the dog having it all the time or just certain hour of the day? No, you are taking charity and taking into the topic the picture is whether you want the other person to feel understood. You can reject back what they are saying to make them feel heard. It could be an act if it's a topic. Have you looked it up or spoken to a fit? Of course, of course. There are infinity where you can create conversation based on the question you ask. Practice will give you a clear idea of how questions are used so closely when it comes to communication and a massive part of talking to anyone. Think of things Think of it this way. If you are asking question and the other person is talking, you don't even need to be speaking most of the time, meaning there is little effort or chance to get anxious on your behalf. Starting conversation with question. Of course, one of the most powerful ways to use question is by using them to initiate conversation in the first place. However, you don't want to be boring. There's no dating the kind and tested question like who are you and where are you from are boring and to generate. These aren't the best way to start a conversation. They are definitely better option to choose from. So let's break it down. First, you need to get a conversation going. I'm going to assume you're not just talking to random stranger on the street, but perhaps talking to arts colleagues at work or a new client or part of networking, even well on text with someone or so on. As, as I said, no. However, if you did want to talk to a stranger on the street, then always start with a conversation about uh, something in the immediate environment, such, such as asking for direction, a good place to eat, the time of commenting on something that is good on you, for example. If there are I'm sorry. If there is carnival happening, you could ask something like, when was the last time you went to one of these for birthday? Let's say you're talking to someone you know in familiar place. It's time to get involved with some kitchen conversation. Here are some questions you could ask that can open a quick conversation in various situations. Meeting someone new, networking, social, even young, easy. Tell me something about yourself. This is critical question because you let the other person take a control and tell them what they want you to know because of course not one is going to tell you something they don't want you to know, allowing allowing you to have a insight into who this person is and what they are all about. What was your highlight of this week? This is one of my favorite questions because it's allowing the conversation to take a positive tone and allow the other person to really think about what matters to them. When they are thinking about positive things, they are going to be feeling positive emotion. It's far better than how are you. Are you working on anything exciting at the moment? Another the chance for someone to get excited before talking to you. This question is ideal for when you want someone to passionate with, of course, they talk about the most important thing in their life. Another great way to get to know someone and see what matters to them. Have you been here before? An open-ended question you can use to catch someone familiar with a place or person if you are in meeting or at an event such as business meeting. social event with a party that you come last year, and so on. You will get a nice idea of how connected this person is. Other questions you can ask when getting to know someone, especially on a professional level, include questions like, where did you go to school? What was your favorite part of school? How did you join this industry? Do you think your career path is similar to people like you? What's the biggest obstacle in your career? What's your favorite part of your job? Is your guy quiet failure? What does your typical work week look like? What are your plans or aspirations for the future? What is like working in your office? Of course, as you ask this question, this nicely lead to other questions you can ask that dive deeper into the topic you choose depending on what answer they give you. Question to us while on that. What do you do in your free time? Are you a morning or night person? What will you be your dream job? What is the most interesting person you've met? Oh, I want to try to answer the question. How will your friends describe you? My friends describe me about like I'm funny and then I like to annoy I don't know because I usually with my friend and make the fun. Yeah. What song or artist do you never get tired of? I usually music on English because in is maybe I try to try to make listen my music. What animal do you think the cat? Maybe cat. Yeah. What animal do you think most angry? Maybe a dog. What city would you love to live in? Maybe I love city is Jakarta or Surabaya for to live and living together because big city and because city center in Indonesia. What city would you love to live in? Okay, and done. Where is your cultural accomplishment? I don't know. When was the last time you sang to yourself and what song? For me, firework, like baby, I'll firework, nothing I want to walk. Okay, next, what times have you never been afraid to understand? Maybe time to listen, reading, writing, and singing. Because it's important. What thing shine the most about our person? Shine the most about person maybe I to be kind uh, and calm, yeah, and funny, yeah. What was the strong turning point in your life? Maybe I need to follow some Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And next topic about fun. Personal smart talk question for anyone. Whether you are talking to your coworkers, friends on that, or just passing the time, and then somewhere there's a funny question you can ask anyone. There are tons of fun questions you can ask people, and will they may sound a little out there. You usually think that people love answering them because they can have so many interesting answers, especially when you are with a group of people, allowing you to compare and casual critique each other answer. Basically, there's all fun conversation starter that everyone can get involved in, good for one on one or two checks. So I think it's enough for today holiday books. And thank you. Oh, maybe next to looking at class maybe for uh our next workout. And tomorrow is planning. This is I'm talking English, so thank you. Baby, and fly you walk. Equation is zero. What? Yeah, yeah. So, thank you. Kan enak loh. Loh, baby, apa you want? I, my, baby, apa you want? So, thank you.